DMZ. A DMZ, or a perimeter network, is a means of allowing the public to access the certain network services while still maintaining the security of your internal devices. At this point, you may be thinking, that's what an extranet actually does. Yes, there are some similarities between them, but remember, an extranet provides access to those services to trusted organizations, whereas DMZ allows access to the public. No trust or authorization is required. Obviously, making anything accessible to the public brings with it inherent security risks. So it's important that only services that are deemed as a public facing and necessary are placed there, and that suitable security mechanisms are put in place as added protection. Common services that were placed in the DMZ include the web server and the domain name system DNS server. So now I will create a new diagram here. Plot here, for example. This will our internet here. www. So next we will intranet here. Internet here. This will be called as well. So this goes to firewall. Here, this is the firewall. So firewall, for example, let's name it firewall B and firewall B, and this firewall B here. So this goes to firewall B, and our firewall B goes to www here, as you can see here. This goes to here, and actually we will need another firewall here, which will name firewall A here. Firewall A here, and then lastly this firewall A goes to internet. I will explain all of this here. Internet here, internet. So, and this is actually DMZ here, DMZ. So this diagram shows examples of firewall placement when implementing a DMZ. So in this diagram, we can see that the DMZ has been implemented using two firewalls. In this instance, firewall A here, firewall A actually is would have rules that would allow traffic requesting, web traffic, and actually this firewall would have rules that traffic requesting web traffic, and firewall B here would have rules that block inbound requests from web traffic. So some organizations will purchase firewalls from two different manufacturers. If an organization use the same firewall through its infrastructure, and that firewall had a vulnerability, then the vulnerability will likely be reproduced across the network. However, if firewalls from different manufacturers were used, then a vulnerability in one model will be unlikely to be replicated across the network. So this means that firewalls is best to use different manufacturers in one place. So a more common implementation of firewalls is the three-homed firewall here. So let's write here. Let's actually create a diagram. Three-homed firewall. So for this, we will need an firewall here, firewall, and two clouds here, This is our internet here. So let's make bigger firewall here, and then cloud here, www. So here this goes here, and this goes here, and this goes here. So this common implementation of firewalls is the named three-homed firewall. Here let's write here three-homed firewall. Text here. Three-homed firewall. Okay. This is three-homed firewall. So this implementation is sometimes also referred to as triple-homed firewall or screened subnet. Each home on the firewall refers to a different network. So the external network, the DMZ, and the internal network, here, and internal network. So let's write here DMZ. Actually, not www, and this is the DMZ. So although a simple firewall is being utilized, each port can have different rules assigned to it. For example, port 2 can allow inbound web request traffic, and port 3 can block this traffic. While it obviously saves the cost for only requiring one firewall, it increases the risk. If that one firewall is breached, then both the DMZ and the internal network could be compromised.